All right, we're starting. Welcome back, everyone, to the In the Biddy podcast with me, Joe, and my guy,
Gabe.
Hi, guys. How's it going? We're going to be talking about some shit. It's been a while since the last podcast we made. We've kind of been busy, I guess. We haven't really had time. We've been feeling it. But yeah, we're here now. So, Gabe, how you feeling, man?
At this moment?
Yeah, at this moment.
I have, as mentioned previously, lethargy.
Yeah, me too. We just ate some junk food and some Monster Energy drink, but that's kind of backfiring.
We're Kyles. We're full on Kyles.
Yeah. We're just kind of chilling at a park watching people pass by, and we're gonna talk about some shit. Like I said, it's been a while. So I don't know. So I guess if you want to give some recap as to what's happened over the 1 month we've been out.
Lately, there's been good things happening in the peripherals of my life. You know what I mean? Personal training's kicking off. I got like 6 clients now.
That's awesome.
And you know, the gym's doing well. We're doing good. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it's like a private gym, I guess, where we just do personal training. The people that own it used to work with me at the other gym that closed. So I got a key to this gym. I can go whatever time I want, and I set it up with the clients. We can go anytime we want. And just recently got canned from Dunkies.
Right.
and Joe.
Right. The Dunk saga is over. We're both done with Dunkin' Donuts. That's crazy.
But yeah, I picked up Uber Eats on the side. But yeah, so personal training, I'm happy about that. But my mindset these last few days has been pretty caca.
Yeah.
And like talking to friends and stuff, I feel like it's in the air or something. Like my friends have been going through some pretty caca situations as well.
I feel that, man.
Like I've been waking up in a funk, and I would like to say I have a pretty good level of self-awareness, and I'll be sitting there. I was like, what's the reason for this? And there is no reason, you know what I mean? But I guess what I wanted to touch base today is how these days where we're just kind of shitty, how they can make us stronger, you know what I mean? If you do what you have to do in spite of how you feel, you know, you're a stronger person for it. Instead of hiding.
Right,
Instead of hiding when you're depressed, you go out and you make the best of it. And some of the things that made me feel better, well, the main thing, if not the only thing that made me feel better when I'm feeling this way, is other people. I was delivering Uber Eats, and just being in the mall just gave me an intense amount of energy. You know what I mean? Like, go looking at girls looking at me.
Yeah, I feel that.
So it has me thinking, like, isolation and stuff is no bueno. You know what I mean? And especially if you're feeling this way, like, get out there, talk to someone, go see a friend. I think that's key. That's essential, because we're social creatures.
Yeah.
And we like to pretend that it's us alone with our problems and our duties and our chores or whatever.
Right.
But we got to get out there and mingle with each other for the sake of our well-being.
Dope. I'm just gonna cut you off there and just comment that you're very good at talking, and I'm like really impressed by that whole monologue you did there.
Thank you.
It's like you were made for podcasting.
Thank you,
I'm like, wow, he's really going. I could not do that.
Can I tell you why I think that is?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because we have like the ability to split our awareness between many things.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're talking and you're splitting your awareness with whatever else you want to think about, then you're gonna do a crappy job of like, oh, what do I sound like? What do I? Oh, what's? You know what I mean? So if you essentially pretend like nothing else is going on and you focus solely on what's coming out of your mouth, almost in a trance-like sort of state, then you can be pretty fluid with what you have to say.
Yeah, I've noticed in your eyes you're like super focused. The problem that I have with talking is that I'm always, like you mentioned, like thinking about other shit. Like my mind is moving a lot faster than my mouth, so I'm like thinking about what I'm about to say while I'm saying the thing that I am saying at the moment, and I just trip over myself all the time. Yeah, but you're very good at talking.
Thank you, sir. I appreciated that. That made me.
I'm captivated.
Made me feel good.
Yeah. I'm glad you're on this podcast with me, man.
I had a moment of lethargy. Now you gassed me up. We're laughing. You gave me a compliment. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's key, man. Having friends, having good connections, good vibes with other people is key to a happy life.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, ever since I quit Dunkies, I've definitely been seeing a lot less just people in general. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely, I'd say, affected me. I've been waking up like super bored and shit. And I've finally started to crack where I'm like, okay, I need to like talk to people. So I've been reaching out to my friends that I haven't talked to back from like university. And we've been like reconnecting and like catching up. And that's been super chill. And that's been making me feel super nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, over the past few days, I've been waking up, like, super, like, bored and uninspired and, like, kind of getting sick of the grind. Because my days are pretty regimented, I guess. Like, I'd wake up and, like, follow a routine, and it's more or less the same routine every day. But, like, that kind of gets boring. And, like, it's nice to have a little bit of spontaneity. Absolutely. Which is nice because I have Gabe here asking me to go out and skate sometimes. And that's like, hell yeah, we can go out and skate.
I just got that ollie over the cone.
You did. Yeah. That was nice.
Some ladies walked by and I just stopped talking.
Something that's...
eye contact.
Yeah, so, yeah, me and Gabe have been skating. It's been fun.
And I finally, in the previous episode, I was like, we're mastering that ollie. And I got an ollie. It was only like 5 inches, but I cleared this little cone and I was absolutely happy.
Hell yeah.
I felt extremely accomplished.
No, maybe I'll throw that up on the screen.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll just play that right now. All right, Gabe is going to perform an ollie over this orange guy. Get it, let's do it.
Let me see that.
Okay, we played it. So yeah, Gabe's been killing it with the ollies. I've been progressing ever so slightly too. I've been doing some stuff, but
been getting wrecked.
Yes, I have also been getting wrecked. So a while back, it was like a month ago now, we were out at a reservation and we were skating down the paths and I was being super reckless with it.
Paved.
It was paved, so it was pretty nice, but it was very hilly and I was just like going fast down the hills and shit. But I was going definitely way too fast and I'm an idiot and didn't wear a helmet. So I did have a crash one time and I was wicked hurt. I like blacked out hurt. And then I got up and Gabe's standing next to me and we're walking and I'm like, whoa, what happened? And I'm like spitting up blood and shit. I was like, oh man, what happened? And then I feel something in my mouth and I spit that out and it's like a white chunk. And I'm like, that was a tooth. Oh, that was a tooth. Oh shit. And Gabe's like, oh man, you got a hole in your chin, dog. And I was like, oh no.
It's been a nice night in the hospital parking lot waiting for you to get stitched up.
Wait, did you wait in the parking lot?
Yeah. Oh, but then I went and got McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
I'm over here talking about how I'm a personal trainer, and right off the bat, we kicked it off with, we just ate some junk food.
Junk food's alright, okay?
Sometimes,
junk food's
everything
nice.
In moderation.
Yes, junk food is good. Like, you don't want to...
It's not bad.
Yeah, but I got super injured. I'm very lucky to not have, like, gotten any sort of, like, anything worse.
You fell on the forest bed-ish part.
Yeah.
Your head, the rest of you were like inches away from smacking your head on the pavement.
Yeah.
And that would have been way worse.
I can actually throw up a picture of that too as well. I'm just gonna throw that up here. So the injury was a couple of chipped teeth, about 3 broken teeth, just like totally fragmented. I have a piece of one just laying in my drawer. Yeah, I spit a few out. They're just in the nature now.
Great
And
little teeth plants.
yeah, and I split open my chin, I guess. I had to get that stitched up. I got about 5 stitches. That was a time. The nurse was cute. That was fine. that was the only good part of that night. But yeah, I'm alive, which is super cool. It could have been so much worse, man. I'm like wicked lucky it was just that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that incident definitely put the fear in me, cause that day I was like going downhill super fast. I was like, I don't give a shit. But now, like whenever I see a hill and I'm skating, I'm like, I'm gonna turn around. I'm not trying to do something crazy right now.
Raises a good point to be grateful even for our misfortunes, because it's a great lesson to learn, right?
Yeah.
We got helmets. I had to get a concussion and then we got helmets.
Right. Yeah. So I had an incident and then Gabe also had an incident and then we're like, okay, we gotta get helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was cruising down the streets in the middle of the night having a good old time until I fell, got knocked out briefly, and then this very cute girl drove me home.
Shout out to the cute girls helping us out.
All these cute girls out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we got helmets after and that concussion, friggin', I can't smell or taste right.
Still?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and that sleeping really sucked. Mm-hmm.
Dang.
But
son.
we can be grateful that could have been much worse. We got helmets to prevent something like that again. And yeah, I could have been bitching, oh, this concussion, but no, I was very grateful. I was like, I'm thankful that I didn't cause some severe brain damage or something, bro. Or crack my skull and had to go to the hospital or something. So it was a nice little warning.
Yeah, you paid with your senses a little bit.
Senses are tingling.
Yeah, I paid with my teeth. Yeah, the teeth situation, I still got to get sorted out. I still have some missing parts of my teeth. I did not get those fixed yet. It's going to cost me like a couple $1,000 because I gotta get like tooth caps or whatever the hell.
In the description is a link to help Joe.
A GoFundMe. No, but yeah, we've been through it, but now we have helmets, so we're not. If there's any takeaway from this past 12 minutes and 25 seconds is wear a helmet when you're skating. Don't be an idiot. Kids. Yeah. We thought we were all cool, looking nice, but we fucked up. Yeah.
So Joe.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're having a bad day? That helps you feel better.
That's a good question.
How is your mind state? Are you aware that you're having a bad day, or are you just kind of grooving with it and just like rah, 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 rah,
Usually my bad day. What I would call a bad day is when I just don't feel like doing anything. Like I don't feel motivated to do like shit. Like schoolwork, I'm just not interested in. Like art stuff, not interested in. Like I'm just sitting in my bed, not doing jack shit, and I feel bad about it, but at the same time I can't do anything about it. It's that kind of feeling.
Why can't you?
Just lack of interest. It's a weird thing. It's like I want to do it, but I also don't want to do it. It's like this paralysis, and it sucks. And what do I do about it? Not much. I just lay there. Yeah. I do just lay there. I'm just like, it's gonna be like this for a little bit, and there's not really much I can do about it, so I'm just gonna lay here and try to vibe. And I think it's in those moments that I should be like, I don't know, meditating or whatever, but I just don't. I gotta learn how to meditate.
I had an intense meditation the other day.
Oh yeah?
So when I feel those feelings that you feel, where I'm like, oh, I gotta do something, I'm pretty much useless right now. I'll go and do Uber Eats.
Right.
And then I can like relax, because at that point I can convince myself that I'm being useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my coping mechanism, is hopping on Uber Eats and feeling like I'm useful.
Yeah.
but I had a really good meditation. So earlier in the day, I kind of like, I ran a long time, like around 5 miles, and that left me kind of tired, kind of exhausted. So at the end of the night, I was laying there, and it was very easy, you know, as opposed to every other day. It was very easy to not have my mind thinking about too much, right? Because I was super exhausted mentally and physically, and I was just laying there looking at the ceiling, and ever so effortlessly, like, I just wasn't thinking about shit. I was just existing. And then I was staring at the ceiling, and then like this weird blue flashing started, like this weird blue pulsing in my vision. That happened for a little bit, and that was fucking, and that was fucking weird.
Okay.
And then and that felt amazing. And I was like, damn, if I could access this state of bliss and not having a racy mind, that would be rather powerful. But yeah, I try to practice presence as much as possible. When I'm doing Uber Eats, I went to because I think presence is also meditation. You can, in my opinion, you can meditate in a room full of people. So I was doing Uber Eats. I went to this restaurant, Amigos, and I was just sitting there. I wasn't on my phone or anything. I was just sitting there, and then people that were coming, I was sitting by the front counter. So people that were coming by, they would all look at me and notice me because I was just sitting there. I had my head up. I wasn't looking at my phone. I wasn't looking at my phone. I was sitting there. I had my head up. I was noticing things, and everyone kept looking at me. Everyone was intrigued by me. The kid who was by the counter was talking to this girl. Hey, can you call that guy over for me? And then they looked over at me. I was like, all right, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know. So like when you're present and you're not hiding behind your phone and you're not looking down or being awkward, people are drawn to you. I've come to find.
I've had an experience similar to that a while ago. I think I've told you about this before. So me, my brother and my dad went to some place. So my dad knows some person like randomly on Facebook, and then they posted they were having like a Thanksgiving dinner party, and so my dad was like, cool, free food. So he just brought us over there, but he didn't really know anyone. It was just free food and a bunch of random people. And I thought that it was like a family member, but it wasn't. So we were just on the couch, the three of us, me, my brother, and my father. We were just sitting there, and there was all these other people at this party in a room, and they were all speaking a different language. And they were speaking some African language that none of us understood. So none of us could really do anything about it. And we also arrived late, so it was super awkward. So we got in, and we all walk in, and everyone's staring at us. And then the lady who was a Facebook friend of my dad, and apparently that's the only connection that we had there, she looks at us, and then there's a moment of silence, and she waves over to the food, and she's like, eat. And so we all get food. I don't get food because I don't trust food from strangers. I have a weird phobia about that. I just don't do it. But my dad eats. My brother eats, and I'm just sitting there or whatever, and I just kind of embrace the strangeness of it.
Hell yeah.
I was just like, they don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. I'm just gonna be someone. I just sit up, and I'm just looking at people, and I'm like making eye contact, but I don't know what anyone's saying. While my brother is like on his phone. My dad, bro, he did these people so dirty. So my dad is like, once he's finished with his food, he like lays down on the couch. He puts his cap down and like falls asleep. Yeah. I'm like, bro, where's your man?
Savage. I like that a lot. I don't like that at all. Came through, ate, went to bed
at some stranger's house, bro. Yo, I was like kind of upset, but also like I don't even care at this point.
Any other way, man.
So, but yeah, I was like just sitting up straight, like a smile on my face, because I thought this situation was super funny at this point. Like my dad fucked up so bad that it was funny.
You don't know what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Your dad's sleeping.
Yeah. And then this one guy, he eventually just starts talking to me because like you said, it's just, who's this kid sitting up politely, like super present, like I should give him some attention.
Yeah.
And so we're talking, we're shooting the shit, and he turns out to be a worker at like IBM, and I was like, oh cool, I major in computer science, and like he offers me like a recommendation for like a job and shit. I was like, cool, I'll hit you up for that. Yeah, and I did that just by sitting up straight. Yeah. I was like, wow, cool. That was like, at the moment I had no idea what was going on. I was like, why did that happen? But like now I know. It's like
presence. You're letting shit unfold.
Yeah. I was radiating some inviting energy for real. Yeah.
I really like that story.
Yeah, dog.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, it was very strange in the moment.
Very cool story.
Yeah, but it's hilarious in hindsight.
That's awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, presence is key. People are not as present as they should be, and they don't know. They don't know it. You know what I mean? You can see people driving. They're like, you can see their ego on their face. They're like driving. They're like trying to look tough, trying to look straight faced, or they're always thinking about some shit. It's like, just relax, look around, make a friend, meet a girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like back in high school, like the culture, like the girls with the boys, like all the stereotypes, this and that.
What are you talking about?
Like,
well, explain, please.
Like stereotypes, man. Like predetermined ideas that people have. It can be about anyone. In this case, I'm using gender. Like a guy who might see women that sleep with a lot of guys as a whore.
Oh.
But that's because he's uneducated and he's afraid to come out of his shell and talk to some girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, I feel like human beings are the only species that like fucking forgot how to court. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Wow, that's a sweeping statement.
Because it's extremely simple for me to approach a woman and be like, hey, and she's like, oh, hi. And I'm like, I'm Gabe, what's your name? Like, cool. And then from that point, if you just release the ego, then the conversation flows.
Yeah.
And the body language follows. But then it's like difficult for people to do that shit nowadays.
Yeah.
You know? I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Nowadays, was it easier before?
I'm sure before cell phones, like in the 50s. Like this old lady was like, I was delivering Uber Eats, walking through the mall, carrying these milkshakes, standing up nice and straight, looking straight, and this old lady was like looking at me, and then I noticed that she was looking at me. I turned my head real quick, made some eye contact with her. She like blushed, like turned away. You know what I mean? Like back in her times, you could probably. Oh man. Nowadays, everyone's like avoiding eye contact. Everyone, you go to the mall, everyone's on the same different page. It's like, it's. Did I say same or different?
You said same different page. I thought that was funny.
It's a negative technically. Positive. I don't know.
I understood you.
I feel like I'm blabbering.
No, you're good. It's very easy to make yourself scarce when you have a cell phone. Whenever I've noticed this doing DoorDash. It's that whenever I am just whenever I'm like on my phone, just kind of waiting for an order, I'm just like on my phone, blah, blah, blah. I've noticed that it's easier for them to like fucking forget I'm there, and then the order's right there, and then I'm just waiting for nothing. So I've noticed that if I put my phone away and I stand like right in front of the counter, just present, then they're gonna make sure that I leave immediately because they're like fucking uncomfortable with me being there. They're like, who's this guy? He's making eye contact with me. And like, whenever I do that, it's like weird. It's like a cheat code. You can like get people to talk to you by just being there. Yeah.
I love how you mention it as a cheat code, because I find that I have extreme power when I'm present and I drop the ego.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's indescribable. I'd recommend anyone to try it. Wherever you are, whoever's around, be present and drop the ego. Try to be comfortable, And there's so much power in that. People are like in awe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh wow, like we're having this experience now. Okay, we're talking. Okay, I'm good. You good? Okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
It's crazy. And then like it's almost like charming. You're so drawn. Like I said before, I talk about flirting a lot, but I think that's very important. I think that too many couples are not on the same page with communication, with vulnerability, with being honest with themselves and with other people and shit like that. You know what I mean? You can be sitting right next to your partner and not be present with them. You can be thinking about some bullshit that happened yesterday or that might happen next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So presence is extraordinarily powerful. When you take the present moment for what it is, which is, for the most part, at least here in Peabody, for the most part, it's not really dangerous in the present moment, right?
Yeah.
You're not being chased.
Yeah.
You're not being chased usually. So if you take it for what it is, you know what I mean? Even if you're anxious, because a lot of people carry around anxiety, let it sit there. Let the anxiety be there. Be there with it, but don't let it control you.
Yeah.
And just take a look around, and you're like, holy fuck. And then people notice you, and they're like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like when I go to Cumberland Farms, this lady behind the counter, she's like, good morning. I was like, oh, hey, good morning. And then I was going to pay for my stuff. I smiled at her. She smiled back. We had a little conversation. And then I turned around. The guy behind me, he was like in awe. He was like, and then he was like kind of in my way. He was like, oh, excuse me, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no worries. You know what I mean? People are like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a good ass feeling when you see people getting along, when you see shit harmonizing, when you see good vibes. It's a good ass feeling.
It is.
And we are so goddamn powerful that we can manifest that, or we can do the absolute opposite and make it shitty and awkward, or we can manifest our presence and be there and manifest shit with other people, you know?
100%. Some days are definitely harder than others. Like some days I'm just
Absolutely.
like not trying to talk to anyone, but some days I'm like, why is no one saying anything in this waiting room right now? We're all here having the same experience. We're all like doing like delivery service. No one's talking. We're all waiting for Chipotle. Chipotle, by the way, sucks sometimes. Chipotle is swamped with orders sometimes. So they'll have like 100 orders and they'll be like an hour behind. I've had to wait an hour at Chipotle before I picked up my order. And people got like super mad. Yeah. It sucks. But it's all made worse because no one's having a good time. You know? Like no one's like making connections. Everyone's super focused on the one goal that they can't complete because there's a fucking bottleneck at the kitchen. And then they're upset. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We need to resolve this chronic state of anxiety. People need to come to terms with how they feel and what they think about, and they need to learn how to let go of all this shit that's holding them back. And when we do that, when we learn how to coexist, when we drop the preconceptions, when we come to terms that what we are is what we are and not what we want to be, not what we're trying to do, like, I don't know. And then we can have like a good time. We can live in a good world, you know what I mean? Because think about it, man. People's preconceptions divide us. Like Donald Trump, he's like, oh, those are anarchists. Oh, this and that. Like he's the president. He's supposed to unite us. He was helping to divide us.
Right.
He was like, these people are on my side. Yeah. Those people are not. Let's all join together because they're not on our side, so I can be president.
That
like,
really sucked.
Are you stupid?
That sucked. Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So, but it all starts with the individual. You know what I mean? If Johnny doesn't like Henry because Henry's a different race, and then Johnny has a kid, and then Johnny's kid has a kid, Johnny's kid, and then there's all these people that don't like, you know what I mean? So it's like the droplet and the, what's it called?
I don't know, pool.
The water droplet,
pond.
And then the
Ripples,
the
wave.
ripples, yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to have, in my opinion, we need to have a better education system that values basic things, not math and history and this and that, but values communication,
Like
values
emotional intelligence,
values unity, You know what I mean? We need teachers because teachers are in the same state that everyone else is, in a state of anxiety and this and that. You know what I mean? There needs to be an awakening, you know what I mean? Like, people need to be taught this basic ass shit.
I agree, yeah. We could definitely use some classes that teach people how to fucking talk about how they feel and how to listen to people and shit like that.
Look, you think about it, like, in school, they're like, yeah, you know, you're gonna go to college, and after college, you're gonna get a job, and after that, you're gonna get a house and a mortgage, and that's what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? Completely bypassing the fact that, oh yeah, along the way, you're gonna meet a bunch of people that you're gonna depend on, some of them that are gonna depend on you, and you're gonna have to communicate with them, and you're gonna have to harmonize with them in order to have a successful career or a not toxic work environment. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna have to, you know, give values to your kids and like this and you know what I mean? Like, our world is shaped and made by people. We need to talk to people. We need to be, you know what I mean? Someone builds the house for someone to live in it. Someone mows the lawn. Someone delivers the pizza. Someone does that. So we all depend on each other heavily, and yet we can't say hello to each other or be comfortably next to each other. And then you want to call this a country? No, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
You got some feelings about this shit.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm letting the ego kind of take over because I'm very passionate about this. Because it's so easy for me to reach out to other people and create some beautiful scenarios, some beautiful moments, that it baffles me why other people don't do the same for their own sake, for the sake of others, and for the sake of the world. But it's not fair because a lot of people have a lot of empathy, a lot of people are already very kind, and a lot of people do share the same beliefs as I do, which is great. But yeah. I just get frustrated, I suppose, but everything takes time, right? And the way I do my part in my head is just by dropping the ego wherever I am and talking to people with 100% me, my authenticity, and then it brings out their authenticity because they get comfortable to be vulnerable with me in return, and then that puts me in a good mood, it puts them in a good mood, and it gives good vibes and good energy. So I think I'm doing my part. And that's ultimately my purpose in life. I'm not worried about, oh, I'm going to make this much money, this and that, this and that. My purpose, I feel like I'm living it each day. You know what I mean? I'm not striving for monetary value or for objects, things to own. I'm living my purpose every single day, which is trying my absolute best to be honest, authentic, and kind to as many goddamn people as possible.
Cool. I don't want to put you on the spot even more than you've been, but just for the viewers, you've mentioned dropping the ego. You want to explain what the ego is?
I'll explain it as best as I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the ego is, there's several components to it as far as I can understand, right? There's the sort of primal defense mechanism of it. Oh, strange being. Oh, gotta change up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel threatened.
Yeah.
I feel threatened. Now I'm gonna close up a little bit. I'm gonna act a little different. You know what I mean? Like when a guy, like for instance, I was working at Dunkies and a friend came through, right? Mm-hmm. Which was a guy. He was clearly there because he was interested in her. So they were talking, and then like I'm also nearby, and she's like, hey Gabe, and then she asked me a question, and then this dude didn't like that she was talking to me, so he pulled up and he pulled up, he puffed his chest, and he was like grilling me, and I was like, look at this guy over here, right? Like I pointed it out, and he was like laughing. He's like got him. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So that's partially the ego.
Okay.
Is the defense mechanism, like if you're in a calm state, if you're in your natural state, which is just chilling, just calm. Anything that causes to take you out of that state, you go immediately into ego. You know what I mean? So self-defense, or whatever. What was the word I used? Defense mechanism.
Defense, yeah.
Like a man's ego, like a man's bravado, like trying to be better than better than someone else. So the ego, as Eckhart Tolle says, the ego is always comparing itself to someone else.
Yeah.
It's either making you feel worse than someone else or making you feel better than someone else.
Yeah.
When inherently no one's better than anyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're standing in the middle of this beautiful field we have in front of us with 10 different people, I don't care who has what career, who owns what car. It's just a bunch of people standing in the middle of the lawn.
Yeah.
And they'll be treating each other differently based on whatever they're wearing, whatever, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. That's the ego.
Okay.
So if we learn to identify when we are in egoic state and we can exit it, it's a very powerful thing.
Okay.
And then you allow yourself to be authentic and true while communicating with others, and that's an extremely powerful thing. And if you're talking to someone with ego and you don't have your ego, their ego will drop. And when you become keen to that type of stuff, it's so very obvious when someone has an ego and someone is not. But a challenge that I have been having, because I'm so goddamn confident like about ego and stuff,
Yeah.
is like not like I've developed a spiritual ego where I think I know everything.
Oh.
So I have to keep that in check. I have to keep that in check.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So what does someone without an ego look like? They're just chilling, just having a good time?
I would say you and I right now are prime examples of people that currently are in a non-egoic state.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're chilling right now.
But yeah, when people learn that they don't have to summon these different states when in unnecessary times, in benign times, then shit can go much more smoothly, you know? People are so anxious. It's fucked, man. The situation is difficult, and since there's so many people that are isolated and depressed, it's even more difficult for them. You know, there was this one guy, I was walking on the sidewalk, and there was this one guy, he was making hand motions and looking to his side as if he was having a conversation with someone, and there was no one there. And then I looked at him, I was like, hey, what's up, man? And then he didn't say anything, but then I looked back, and like he was no longer doing the hand motions, no longer talking to anyone. He was like, you know what I mean? I was like look at what this is doing.
Deep in thought, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, look at what this is doing. You know what I mean? Like, this is not taken seriously enough, the condition of the people. Because if it just keeps getting worse and we keep getting more isolated and we become less and less attuned with human contact, it's gonna be beyond ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, you could write a book on this shit. Yeah, man. It's definitely obnoxious, because like I can like for the most part tell when someone's putting up a front or whatever, or they're like on guard. That shit's obnoxious, man.
Yeah.
That shit's...
Especially when you don't mean any harm.
Yeah, like when you're just trying to talk to someone, like, I don't know, get some information.
It's so difficult, and it makes you feel so awkward too.
It does. It makes you feel like a creep, bro. It's not fun.
It makes your ego want to come out. It makes you want to feel offended.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, there's people that are completely identified with ego, you know? And those are the most difficult people. Those are the people that, quote unquote, are stuck in their ways.
Yeah, imagine being lost in the sauce for that time, for all that time. Just not being...
Well, we are all lost in the sauce briefly, if not, you know, throughout the day. We all get lost.
No, I mean,
in the
like,
sauce.
being stuck in there.
Oh, I know some people.
Like, yeah, man.
Don't get me wrong. I have my moments of insanity like the rest of us.
Right.
But I try ever so hard to be present and let these internal things happen and not alter my natural state, I guess. You know?
Yeah, dude. Fucking righteous. Right on, dog. that's dope. I've got nothing to add at the moment other than just...
And I would say, Joseph...
Go ahead.
That in these efforts of mine, I've managed to get you to open up a lot.
Yeah, dog, and I appreciate you for that.
And
100%.
show me your egoless self.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. What does my ego look like? Do you know? Could you describe it?
Always thinking about something. Like, always, like, I don't know. Just like not very present, not very attentive.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I'm definitely. I'd rather be like lost in my own head than like in the moment sometimes.
A lot of 100%. People are. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the danger.
It just feels safer there. I don't know.
Defense mechanism.
Oh yeah. How about that shit? Wow. You're on to something, man.
It's like when we used to get hit as kids, or our parents used to shit talk. We used to disassociate. You know what I mean?
Disassociation's fucking. That's a tool I use.
And like human beings are like the only species seemingly that can do this thing, right? That's why we're so chaotic. Like, I feel so bad for human beings. I feel bad for me. I feel bad for everyone else. Like, we were just given these conditions, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I dissociate all the fucking time. Because, I don't know, for me, it's fun to piss people off by just ignoring them. In my opinion, just like, I'm not hearing you. We're strangers now. I don't care about what you're saying. I do that all the time. When someone approaches you pissed off,
oh fuck,
just yeah. I just let it slide off, and it's like then they're just stuck in their own reality where they're mad at. Yeah. And who are they mad at? Not me. I'm fucking in here, dog. It's crazy. Like, I don't care, dude.
We live in different dimensions throughout the day.
Yeah, sometimes.
Dimensions of thinking. We're between the thinking world, which I would honestly describe it close to hell.
The thinking world?
Yeah, and then the present moment, which is for the most part rather calm. You know what I mean? Not always. Sometimes you got problems, but like even when you can be present when there's chaos, you can very easily handle it. You know what I mean? You can make sensible decisions. Like I've like working at Dunks, I became very good at being calm and present in the face of chaos. Mm-hmm. And everyone would kind of come to me for answers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I would be that rock that would keep everyone calm. They would look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine." You know what I mean?
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you practice presence and awareness, you can have anything you want.
Cool. I guess we could end it there. I mean, that's sure. That's the takeaway. Anything we want. All right, yeah. Right on, dog. That was nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
42:52. That's what episode is this even? 4, 3, 4,
1.
I think this is episode 4, and if I'm wrong, then fuck me, I guess. Yeah, In the Biddy podcast. I'm Joe. Who's this guy again?
Gabe.
Yeah, that's Gabe. Yeah, that's the podcast. We talked for a little bit. I suck at signing off. I don't know why Gabe told me to do it, but have a nice day, everyone. I hope you stay present.
Yeah. Try to, even if you're having a shit day, try to realize that everything around you is stable in spite of your feelings. Reach out to a friend, have a good time, look for some good vibes. Yeah.
And clean your room.
Oh yeah. Jordan Peterson says that a lot.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. That's in his like 12 rules for life.
I mean, it's good, right?
Because if you can't keep your own room in order, how are you going to keep your life in order?
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Clean your room. Fucking bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
You get that?
No. No. I wasn't fast enough. Go. All right, Gabe is gonna
going to perform the perfect ollie over this orange dude right here. You ready for it? Here we go. Bro!